Yo, what's going on, Rangers fans? I am Randy, and we are finally back for another Pokemon Go Battle League video. Although this isn't on time, I mean, technically this battle is on time, this upload this week. But as you know, or as you guys don't know, this is actually week number 8 of the PGBL. We didn't do it week number 7. But the cool thing about it is we're going to be doing it differently. We're going to be doing a double header style. So next week, in place of week 9, we're doing week 7 and week 9 as part of our rivalry week. Yeah, I can't say that shit, man. That's hard. If you guys don't know, PGBL, we do a rivalry system here. So we have a rival usually within state or within the area, like where you're from, just to make it interesting, if possible, of course. So you play them twice in 3 weeks, sometime like middle to late season. And just a way to have like a little rivalry every season, the same every season. So it's pretty cool. It's annoying. Don't get me wrong, it's annoying because facing somebody twice in a season is always annoying for me, or for anybody, because it's always so hard. And then of course later on, if both of you do well, you play again in the playoffs, and that's just stupid. Like that's just I hate that stuff so much. But playing Josh is a lot of fun. So we'll be playing him twice, and hopefully it'll be a live comm. I'm planning on doing a live comm that week. That way, you can actually see us do 2 different battles at the same time. So it'll definitely be a longer video, but it's going to be interesting. We're going to have two fresh teams. At least I think they're going to be fresh teams, and then we're going to battle back-to-back immediately. So it'll be interesting to see how we think and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that if I upload it in time. But this is being recorded a little bit late. We'll give it that much, but I just kind of lost track of what was going on. So hopefully you guys understand. No face cam this week because trust me, you don't want to see me this early in the morning. I know I'm a good-looking dude, but you don't want to see me this early right now. I'm just I'm all over the place. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual battle video today. We're actually facing off against Visual Like coach of the Cincy Scizors, the reigning defending undefeated champion in the PGBL. He currently is sitting at 7-0 right now. And to be honest, looking at all of his scores, no one has came close to beating him except last week. Nacho almost got him, but even then, man, like he's too good, man. Like he's undefeated right now. His team is insanely good, so hopefully we can knock him out. We both kind of struggled, but we battled a little bit late, so we definitely had some quick builds on both ends of our, as you can just tell in the battle. But his main roster consists of Alamamala, Decidueye, Mega Gallade, Gliscor, Heatran, Hydreigon, Rhyperior, Rotom Wash, Slurpuff, Swallow, and the Venomoth. Now, his team he brought here was surprisingly different than what I thought I was going to bring, although it does make sense, but some of it doesn't also make sense. For one, I expected him to bring Gliscor 100% or Rhyperior, just so I can't click Specs Thunderbolt against his squad. I thought he would bring something, but from this squad here, I can click Specs Thunderbolt and get 2-8 KO pretty much anything outside of Spadef, Rotom, or Heatran. But even then, they probably do get 2-shot off the rocks. Decidueye is the only mon that can really take it, but Specs Dark Pulse is a real thing. But Specs was never going to be the play when he had 2 ground types, even though they're both quad weak to coverage that Thundurus gets. So I guess he figured it wouldn't be worth it anyway to bring those mons. Slurpuff is something I definitely did not expect because Unaware Clef pretty much just beats it 100%, and it really doesn't matter what it can do. So I really wasn't expecting that. Swallow was always going to come because it's fast and it's just freaking insane. Also, it's important to note that Megazam was available to me this week as well as Druddigon, so there was always a possibility he was going to bring something like Scarf Decidueye, not even Scarf Decidueye, like Life Orbs, Shadow Sneak to check me. Potentially a Scarf, maybe Rotom Wash, maybe, or something like that. So stuff like that was always in the back of my mind. But let's go ahead and jump to the battle. It's a pretty good one. Of course, I disguised my Zoroark as Thundurus, which wasn't really a good idea because when Thundurus takes rocks, it's taking 25%. But I mainly did it for a lead because it forces him out. Like, it forces him into one of his bulkier mons in the beginning because of how much Thundurus can do to his squad. So decided to lead off with that. Yeah, so let me go ahead and just lead off the game here. It's be a bit of a different style video, more like a post-com Wi-Fi battle type. And of course, I'll explain the sense my mons as we go on. I forgot to open up my showdown, so that's kind of what happened there. Thundurus leading the way, which is actually my Zoroark, as I just told you. Because on paper, he doesn't have a switch into this monster. So that was ultimately the plan there. So Heatran actually leads, which is pretty frustrating. But he knows I probably don't have Focus Blast, or if I do, he actually is packing the Choppleberry, so a pretty good lead on his end because this is his only quote-unquote check to Thundurus. He gets up a Stealth Rock, and given that Heatran is pretty annoying, I can probably get it in range of my Zam for later on. I decided to go for Dark Pulse and just try to flinch him down. But unfortunately, he does get the Flamethrower off and is able to knock out my Zoroark because I am a -F nature because I am carrying Sucker Punch for that Gallade. So unfortunately, my Kipo, the Zoroark, goes down. If I got the flinch there, it would have been huge because he would have been forced to go into his Swallow, and I have Sucker Punch, so that would have been cool to happen there. So here I'm forced to go into Alakazam. Magic Guard is able to protect me for one turn, therefore I can just Mega Evolve here and go straight for the Psychic. Psychic does indeed knock him out. I am packing the Hidden Power Ground, so that was always a possibility, but I really didn't want him to go into anything else, so I just wanted to go for Psychic in case he had that thought he would switch into something else. So that's why I ended up making that play. Bit of a weird play, but hey, I mean, it worked out there. So in comes Decidueye, and now here I just want to switch out because Alakazam is a huge win con in this game. So I decided to preserve it as I go straight into my Mienshao, because I really had no other switch into this beast. Because on paper, upon like the live battle I was doing, I said to myself, wait a minute, I have no real way to switch into this beast. So I had to sack off something I figured was worthless, and I figured Mienshao was that Mon. So here I'm able to go into Thundurus, and I can essentially go for the Dark Pulse, which I am carrying, and do a lot of damage to this thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I had Knockoff, not Dark Pulse. I'm talking about. So go for Knockoff, which actually ended up being a little bit of an annoying play because that would have been like Life Orb range, but obviously Knockoff knocks off the item. So Spirit Shackle is able to effectively knock me out into Shadow Sneak. Shadow Sneak is definitely on his Mon. So the Decidueye ends up taking out 2 Mons. One being a Mon he has no switch into, Thundurus, so definitely wasn't really a great thing on my end there. But I really had no other way to kill this thing. And that's ultimately what kind of screwed me over, I think. But there's definitely still a real chance. I'm down 3-5 quick, but given what he has left and the chip damage I have worn down on him, I can definitely make something happen here. Mainly with Mega Zam because he has no way to kill it from where it's at now. So my Scolipede gets the speed boost for free essentially there. Swords Dance probably could have been a play, but I mean I wasn't really in a position to make that play because 2 Shadow Sneaks would have been annoying to take anyway. So I am able to go for the Buginium ZZ Mega Horn here onto his Rotom Wash. And I made that play because, like I said, my main win con here at this point is to win with Mega Zam, clicking Psychic. So if I can get all of his Mons in range of Psychic, that would be the main goal there. But the Mega Gallade hasn't taken any damage yet, which is pretty annoying. So if I can just get damage on that Gallade, that would effectively be the win there. So Rotom Wash actually takes way more damage than it should have, and he's able to get off a Reflect, which is also pretty huge here. Because this is definitely telling me he's definitely trying to set up for his Gallade or his Slurpuff. So here I went for Jab, thinking it would knock him out, but he actually does live on the slightest sliver, which is also another huge turn there. Because if I had Mega Horn, I would have been able to knock him out and force in his Swallow, Gallade, or the Slurpuff, and that would have been huge. This is huge, especially for the Zam, because Zam doesn't want these guys trying to set up on me. So it's huge I didn't kill him. But at the same time, it probably didn't matter. Just something to note there. But Gallade comes in, and he is able to effectively go for a Swords Dance for free. My best hope is just to go for Mega Horn and hope I can crit him through the Reflect. Because Mega Horn through Reflect is doing a pretty decent amount of damage there. So if I can crit him here, then I can pretty much win the game from here. So Swords Dance obviously does surprise me a bit because, like I said, I wasn't expecting him to be set up knowing that I have a potential unaware Clef in the back. And Magic Guard really didn't have a great matchup in this match. But I still brought Magic Guard anyway because I figured he would probably expect him to be Calm Mind and Toxic or whatever. So, I don't know. It was definitely a very, very bad prep on my end. As I said, we both prepped pretty quickly. From what I know, he prepped like a day before, and I prepped the day before as well. So we definitely had some quick prep. Hence why this battle was so quick, and it didn't really take much time. So Clef is able to knock out the Gallade, but the only reason why this is bad is because Clef cannot deal with that Belly Drum Slurpuff. He can't do enough damage to punish it for setting up. So now this is ultimately what he wanted. I knew middle to early game that if Clef was ever on the field, and Slurpuff got a free switch in. That was ultimately going to be the game because I have no way to punish it for setting up. And fortunately for him, he had his EVs done right, so he got a Citrus Berry proc there. And he is indeed packing the Unburden. At least we think he is. That's our only way to win now. I have to hope that he missed Gen and doesn't have his Unburden boost. That way Mega Zan come in and revenge. And of course Psychic will knock out the Swellow from full HP. So we'll wait and see what happens there. You know, it's gonna be pretty good. This is not trying to, spoil it too soon. But like I said, man, Unaware Clef would have been clutch here because Gallade wouldn't have done more than like 30% to me with his Zen Head. But assuming he didn't flinch me, and then Clef would have just ultimately shut down the Slurpuff, and then Zam would of course prevent Slurpuff from setting up. So that would have been cool. But ultimately that didn't happen. As you can tell there, Unburden went off, and return not on the risk. The played off miss will knock out my Mega Zam, taking the 15-turn quick win off of me. The Rangers have now fallen to 5-2, second loss of the season. But it's a pretty good loss. I mean, we know where we went wrong. Ultimately, I didn't play very well with the Decidueye prep. But ultimately, if I had Unaware Clef, the game would have been 100% over when he tried setting up because, like I said, as long as he doesn't flinch me, I knock out Gallade. Slurpuff really can't set up on me because I'm unaware. He would be forced to go Swallow, knock me out with the Boom Burst, and then Zam knocks out Swallow from there, and Zam knocks out the Puff from there. So, I mean, ultimately my prep wasn't too great here. I don't think my play was too bad, although I did make some pretty nasty sacks because, I had nothing to switch into Decidueye. Although I definitely valued Scolipede more than I should have. An alternative to what I did there probably would have been to go into Scolipede. Maybe jab up the Decidueye and put it in range of the Thundurus. That way I can bring in Thundurus, revenge it. And then from there, he has nothing to outspeed Thundurus with. So that's something that I would have probably done better if we played again. But ultimately, it was a quick, fast-paced battle. I like this kind of battles, and it was definitely interesting to see. He definitely had some weird prep on his end, but it made sense because, he definitely had both options. If I was Magic Guard, he definitely had to set up with Gallade and Slurpuff, and if I was unaware, I think he had Toxic on that Rotom Wash or the Heatran, so he definitely had his ways to check both. So while I am a little surprised he brought setup, like heavy setup screens, it made sense because he covered both options with Clef. And, yeah, that was ultimately the game, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, next week for week number 9, we're going to do a makeup match for week 7 and week 9. An interesting, way of doing it. But we're going to be taking on Josh and his South Texas Sableyes in a double header next week. So, like I said, look forward to that. We are currently at 5-2. There is a new number 1 seed in the West, so we're hopefully trying to take over that next week when we grab at least one of the 2 games at least. One of the 2 would be nice. If we take both of them, we're pretty much locked up for 1 seed, I'm pretty sure, no matter what happens. So, yeah, guys, sorry for the delay in the upload. Hopefully you guys do check out Viz's battle. He uploads battles like every single day, so make sure you go give him a look. But hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Go Rangers.